welcome to my final prototype presentation. For my project, I created an app called Simplify that you can use as a student or beginner learner to get simple explanations using a chat feature on the app. So just to go over the app briefly, this is the design I have. It's very simple and it brings you either to a sign in or sign up page, or you can skip the onboarding process and go straight to the chat feature. Here in the chat feature, you can type in a concept you want to explain or like anything that you want more information about, and it uses AI to explain whatever you have a question about. On the app, it saves your previous chats so you can go back and scroll through them. This is what it looks like, very similar to like the iPhone design. I had it like this for familiarity and ease of use so people can, so they don't have to go and like relearn a new design. So it's very simple in this way. You can also personalize your learning experience by choosing how you like to learn. And you can go back and create an account if you like. There are also settings where you can choose how you like to learn and the type of learner you are, and whatever best describes you so the app can serve you best. You can log in and log out, and that's essentially the main features of the app. So I'm going to go ahead and start this as a presentation, and this is what it looks like when you first open the app. So with my user story, I just created a fake person called Lucas Scott, who's a college freshman, a full-time student studying environmental science, and he wants just to try out the app and see how it works with a quick explanation about something climate change related. So if Lucas Scott opened the app, this is what he would see, the start screen, prompting him to sign in or sign up, or he can just skip main to the chat feature. Lucas would just skip to the chat, and this is how it would open as a new chat. So we would just pretend that Lucas would type in, like, what is a climate change policy? So he would type that in here, press send, and the chat would respond using AI. And then you can also like go back and forth with the chat about that. Next, what Lucas would do is he would just after opening the chat, you can also go back. Let's see, you can go back and open the chat again. So this is what he would say to it. This is the reply. You can go back and scroll through to see what the previous replies were, and it would automatically go into the save chat feature. If Lucas enjoyed using the app, he could go back and create an account. So he could go to sign in, type the information in, and sign up. He can select these options, whichever he likes the best. He can choose that he's a student and get started. So now that you can see when you go to your profile, his profile is already here with the information that he signed up with. He can log out from here. He can go back to home and like go back to his chat, which he'll still be logged in here. And then you can also change the features that you chose earlier if you want to remove anything here. So you can select or deselect and then go back. The search feature that allows you to search through previous chats so you can see the answers that you got earlier. And that's pretty much it for the simple design of this. I wanted it to be really simple just so it could be easy for people to use and they don't have all these complex features. So overall, this addresses Lucas's needs, especially because it allows him to get quick answers without making him go through a long sign-in process. And then he can also go back to settings and either create his account later, or he can just use the main chat feature if he doesn't want to go through that onboarding process. And now we can go through the initial test design issues and compare it to how we have the design now. So Let me see if I can open this. All right. So my previous design, this is what it looked like when you open the app here, which is this first option. So users didn't have the option to skip onboarding. They just had to go through the onboarding process. This is what it looked like here, where they click through all these options, and um, they weren't able to skip any of this. And then it also had a sign in with email, password confirmation, confirmation code, and when I did the testing, the people I tested this design on said it was just very overcomplicated and had too many unnecessary steps. So now we just changed it to a very simple onboarding process where you can sign in or sign up, or you just skip straight to the chat. And I think this makes it a lot easier for users because they don't have to go through a long sign-in process. Next, the original design had a notes feature. So here's the notes feature. The users that I tested this on complained that it was also unnecessary, so I ended up just removing that. And instead of having all these options on the screen here, we simplified it to just having a chat or profile settings option. And I think this helps with the simplicity of the design because it's not overcomplicated and overcrowded with the screen. Because the main point of the app is to give users a very simple, minimalistic experience where they just, have the chat feature and get quick answers. So I removed a lot of these unnecessary buttons and features because I thought that the new design was a lot more minimalistic and straight to the point, which helps users navigate the um, new interface a lot easier. Let's see. This is pretty much what I learned during this design process. I pretty much learned that simple is better generally, and fast designs work better than overly complicated interfaces with too many features, too many options, and too many buttons. My biggest challenges were to figure out how to help users navigate the app easier. And I was able to overcome this by just removing unnecessary features and making things optional. So in my new design, you can see that you can skip a lot of the onboarding process and just go straight to the main features of the app. I made the onboarding process a lot simpler by removing all those options and just sticking to the main options people would select. And then the chat feature, which is the main feature of the app, only has maybe 4 or 5 buttons that you could select because it's really just supposed to be straight to the point and easy for people to use and click through. And that's pretty much it. This is my final design, which I think works a lot better. It's a lot simpler, and as you can see, clicking through it, it's really not that much to it, but I think because it's so simple, it allows people to just, use it a lot easier and have a better experience that way. So thank you for watching. If you guys have questions, you can feel free to comment any questions you have about it. And this is my design. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys also want to look at it yourself. And thank you for watching.